Good morning, class. Today we are going to start reading from page number 132, and the topic is adding a checkbox. A checkbox is like a toggle switch where the user can select or deselect one or more than one items. As with other form controls, you have to type your label next to the checkbox. So checkbox is basically like a toggle switch where user can select or deselect one or more than one item. If user want to select one or more than one item, then we can use a checkbox over that particular option in a form. And if you are using checkbox in a form, then you have to specify the label next to the checkbox. Example, input type is equals to checkbox, name is equals to hobbies, value is equals to reading, and checked. Next, HTML tag, head tag is started, title tag is written, using checkbox, title tag is closed, and then head tag is closed. Body tag is started, BG color is equals to light cyan BG color. Form tag, input type is equals to checkbox, name is equals to C1. You can use checkbox 1 as well over here, it depends upon you. Value is equals to graduate, checked, and then the label, that is graduate. Break tag is inserted. See here, graduate checked is written over here. That means this checkbox is selected by default. Input type is equals to checkbox, name is equals to C2. You can use here checkbox 2 or box 2, depend upon you. Value is equals to postgraduate, and here checked is not written, so this checkbox is not checked. It depends upon the user whether he is graduate, he or she can select this, or postgraduate, they can select here. Postgraduate is the label, then form tag is closed, body tag is closed, and HTML tag is closed. Type is equals to checkbox. It indicates that the checkbox is the interface element that is used to interact with the user. Name is equals to C1, specifies the name of the checkbox by which it will be identified, and you can use any name according to your requirement. Value is equals to graduate, specifies that the value that will be assigned to the checkbox when it is in the checked state. Checked, it calls the checkbox to be on, that is checked when the form is first created. So value is the graduate, it specified that this value is assigned to the checkbox when it is in the checked state. And checked state is what? It causes the checkbox to be on, that means checked when the form is first created. When your form is first created, this checkbox is selected because it is checked is written in its coding, and user can select the other option as well as depending upon their qualification. And here name is equals to hobbies, so you can write here anything, C1, CB1, box 1, depending upon the user, the name of the checkbox can be written, and its value is reading and it is checked. Next is adding a radio button. Radio buttons are used when the user has to make a selection of only one among the several possible options. Checkbox is used where user can select or deselect one or more than one items. Hobby can contain one or more options, as hobby can be reading, singing, writing, depend upon person to person. But radio button is used when the user has to select only one option among the several options. For example, while choosing the gender of a user, you need to specify two radio buttons, male and female, which belong to same group called gender, so that a user will be able to select either male or female but not both. So if you are specifying a gender of a user, then you need to specify two radio buttons, one for male and other for female, and both the radio button belong to the same group, that is gender, so that user can select either male or a female, but not both. When you want to the user to choose the gender, then you need to specify the radio button. When you want the user to select the education or hobbies, you can use the checkbox in that place in a form. Following is the HTML code that illustrates the use of radio button. HTML tag is started. Body BG color is equals to light pink. Form tag is started. Input type is equals to radio because we are using radio button, so type is radio. If we are using checkbox, type will be checkbox. If we are using input text box, then the type will be text. By default the type is text. Name is equals to gender, same group is chosen, that is gender, and its value is male. Then label, that is male, break tag is inserted. Input type is equals to radio, name is equals to gender, value is equals to female, checked, female, form tag is closed, body tag is closed, and HTML tag is closed. Here female value is checked, so it is checked, highlighted with the bullet or a solid circle small. These two are the radio buttons that are having value male or a female. User can choose either male or a female. Both belong to the same group, that is gender, so name is written same, that is gender. Explanation: type is equals to radio indicates that the radio button is the interface element here. Name is equals to gender specifies the name of the radio group. Value is equals to male, value is equals to female, based upon which radio button will be selected. The particular value will be assigned to the radio group gender. So these two are the value, but depending upon the user which radio button he or she will select, that particular value will be assigned to the radio group gender. Here name is written gender, that is why radio group is gender. You can choose the other name that suits your requirement. When you create a form, checked, the radio button with this attribute will be selected by default. So the radio button that contain the checked option, it will be selected by default. Here the graduate contain the checked value and it is by default selected, and here the female radio button is selected, checked is written, that is why it is selected by default. Adding a password field. A password form control is similar to a text field, except that whatever the user enters into this field does not get displayed. Instead, dots and asterisks are shown on screen so that no one can see the typed information. Password field is similar to the text field, except the only difference is that whenever the user enter any information in the password field, it will get transferred into dots and asterisk so that no one can see the typed information. As password is very you can say sensitive information, so it should not be leaked to some another person. It can be hacked and misused by other people for defaming the person or for some other reasons. So you have to be extra careful while typing a password, and you have to use the password field so that the password can be converted into dots and asterisk on screen so that no one or other person can see the typed information. This input element is generally used to enter confidential information such as ATM pin. This field can also be used to enter the confidential information, that is the ATM pin. Following is the HTML code that illustrates the use of password field. HTML tag is started, head tag is written, title tag, title is using password because we are using the password field. We will write here password. Title tag is closed, then head tag is closed. Body BG color is equals to light cyan. Form password label. Input type is equal to password. Name is equal to password. Size is equals to 20. Form tag is closed. Body tag is closed. HTML tag is closed. Description: type is equals to password indicate that password is the interface element. Name is equals to password. This is the name of the password field. You can choose the name according to your requirement. Size is equals to 20. This specifies that the width of the password field. So 20 specify the width of the password field. So we had discussed different form controls. Firstly, we have discussed the how to add a text box, and its syntax is input type is equals to text. Input type is equals to text. Name is equals to first name, size, max length, and value. Next is adding a checkbox. For adding a checkbox, you need to type input type is equals to checkbox. We are adding checkbox, so type is checkbox. Name is equals to hobbies, and value is reading checked. By default, reading value is checked. Next is adding a radio button. Checkbox is used where user can select select or deselect one or more than one item, and radio button is used when user have to select only one option among the several option. And its syntax is input type is equals to radio, name is equals to gender, value is equals to female, and that is checked. This value is checked, that means this value is selected when the form is displayed. And name is the group radio button group name. You can choose any value, any name or a value that you want to use for your group. Next is adding a password field. If you want to add a password or some confidential information, you can use this field, and its syntax is input type is equals to password, name is equals to password, size is equals to 20. So depending upon the different requirement, we can use the different form controls in a form, and a user can enter the particular information that is being demanded among the form controls that are used, and then pass that information to the URL or email address that is specified in the action attribute of the form tag. Thank you.